There's some biblical entities that you want to meet, you know, like Jesus and some of the fun ones, but there's also a lot that you don't. Welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. Here are the top 10 terrifying biblical entities you do not want to meet. So put those Ouija boards back under your bed. No communication with these guys. Let's dive in. Kicking off the list at number 10, the 4 beasts of Daniel. We'll kick this list off with a 4 in 1, because I'm feeling nice, we're feeling generous, you know? The first was like a lion and had eagle wings. Then as I watched, its wings were plucked off, and I was lifted up from the ground and made to stand on 2 feet like a human being, and a human mind was given to it. Daniel 7:4. Yep, that sounds pretty intimidating. These entities are described as a lion with eagle wings, like I said, but there's also a bear, there's also a leopard, and this 4th beast that's a mystery still. This bear has 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth, so that's a pleasant image that you want to put in your head right there. And the leopard also has wings, as well as 4 heads too. The mysterious 4th beast is full of horns, that's all we know. It's also got iron teeth and 10 horns, so you paint that picture, whatever you have in your head. You just gotta include the horns and the teeth and then you're good. The rest you can kind of just imagine. These beasts symbolize the great 4 kingdoms, of course, but the ribs and the teeth thing, that's gonna be in my head rent-free. Thanks, David. Number 9. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Another 4 in 1. I've given you guys like 8 beasts so far. Hit that thumbs up. I'm doing my best, honestly. I'm trying to get it all in. I looked and there was a pale green horse. Its rider's name was Death, and Hades followed with him. They were given authority over a 1/4 of the earth to kill with sword, famine, and pestilence, and by the wild animals of the earth. That's Apocalypse 6:8. That's a fun one. So that's an image in itself right there. Imagine meeting any of these entities, just all the figures of death, like the literal figures of death. I'm good. Let's talk about them. The 4 horsemen, of course, are conquest, war, famine, and death. Conquest was the white horse, war the red horse, famine black, and death the green horse. The rider of the white horse is speculated to be the Lord himself, Jesus, but regardless, I don't want to meet death or his green horse, or any of this posse for that matter. Number 8, pit locusts. Okay, time to get really terrifying. This is Revelation 9:3-10. Then from the smoke came locusts on the earth, and then they were given power like the power of scorpions of the earth. They were allowed to torment them for 5 months, but not to kill them. And their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it stings someone. In appearance, the locusts were like horses prepared for battle. On their heads were what looked like crowns of gold. Their faces were like human faces. Among the 10 plagues in the Bible, this one sounds like it's definitely the worst. 5 months of torment caused by pit locusts? I'm good. This could happen, honestly. I'm not trying to alarm anybody, but back in 2016, locusts covered over 270,000 square miles in Russia, so just keep your heads up, that's all I'm saying. Number 7, the first beast. Taking a break from locusts for a hot minute, let's get back to some biblical beasts. The first one, literally titled The First Beast, is referenced in Revelation 13:1-2. And I stood there upon the sands of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat and great authority. Yeah, there's actually 2 of these monsters. This one's got 7 heads and 10 horns. This beast was once a great king, but before it could rule, it was cast into perdition. There's many who believe that the first beast is the literal Antichrist. If you think that's crazy, just wait, there's more. Because, number 6, the second beast. Just when you thought it was safe, boom, another beast. A second beast, actually. I've lost count at this point. There's so many beasts, so little time. This list, I'm really punching it in. The first beast came out of the sea, which as far as the apocalypse goes, I think that would be a good sign. Getting your tan lines and all of a sudden that thing marches out towards you, game over. But the second beast, ooh, that one comes from the earth, all around us. No sea, no problem. No, this one's, he'll find you. Revelation 13:11. Then I saw another beast rising out of the earth. It had 2 horns like a lamb, and it spoke like a dragon. Sounds like you're talking about a specific somebody. I don't know, I'm just saying. It came from the earth, the 2 horns, lamb appearance, spoke like a dragon. It's the devil. Kind of sounds like the devil. Okay, the second beast is not described as well, but it did cause fire to fall from the sky, so it's pretty bad. And it also like to mark people with the mark of the beast, which in turn allows for humanity to follow the first beast. They're a unit, these 2, they work together. They flank you from the sea and from the earth, so you're screwed. Number 5, NEPHILIM. The NEPHILIM are demigods. They're described, of course, as being gigantic in size, and in Genesis 6:1-4, they're mentioned as such. When people began to multiply on the face of the ground, and daughters were born to them, the sons of the gods saw that they were fair, and took wives for themselves of all that they have chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in immortals forever, for they are flesh. Their days shall be 120 years. Also, side note, not a bad time to live. 120 years, it's pretty good. The NEPHILIM were on the earth in those days and also afterwards when the sons of God went into the daughters of humans who bore children to them. These were the heroes that were of old, warriors of renown. So the sons of God, these fallen ones, many believe are not the greatest. They're fallen sons, almost like Lucifer, in that kind of manner, like fallen. Number 1333, there's a passage that says, "And there we saw the NEPHILIM, and we seemed to ourselves like grasshoppers, and so we seemed to them." Giants, grasshoppers, Lucifer? Oh my. I'm out. Number 4, the Leviathan. I don't have to explain why the Leviathan makes this list. It's called the Leviathan. So, yep, here it is. Isaiah 27:1. "In that day the Lord will punish Leviathan the fleeing serpent with his fierce and great and mighty sword, even Leviathan the twisted serpent, and he will kill the dragon who lives in the sea." Yeah, we're talking about sea monsters now. This is crazy. This one has more than one head, as do most on this list, so that's how you know it's a good one. The Leviathan is a beast of chaos. It was defeated at the hands of God, and once upon a time, Sir Humphrey Gilbert saw a beast in the sea that had a lion's head. So, could it be? Possibly. Many biblical verses mention the Leviathan. "May those who curse days curse that day, those who are ready to rouse Leviathan." That's Job 3:8. Can you pull a Leviathan with a fishhook or tie down its tongue with a rope? That question is in Jacob 4:1-1. Or how about this one? "I will not fail to speak of Leviathan's limbs, its strength and its graceful form. Who can strip off its outer coat? Who can penetrate its double coat of armor? Who dares open the doors of its mouth, ringed about with fearsome teeth? Its back has rows of shields tightly sealed together." Job 41:12-15. Teeth referred to as shields. Mine are chiclets. I broke these ones twice in my life, just for falling. That's intimidating. I don't know. Teeth referred to as shields. I don't want to bite at any of that. I'm good, thanks. Number 3, the behemoth. Again, great name, pretty obvious. The behemoth was one of the first creations of God. Again, this massive creature, described literally as a primeval monster of chaos, was thankfully defeated by Yahweh at the beginning of creation. So we don't have to worry about this one for now. Coming from Job 40:15-24, "Behold, behemoth which I made, as I made you. He eats grass like an ox. Behold his strength in his loins and his power in his muscles of his belly. He makes his tail stiff like a cedar. The sinews of his thighs are knit together. His bones are tubes of bronze, his limbs like bars of iron." That's pretty intimidating. That's a great description also. My bones are not made of iron. They need calcium. My bones are made of putty. I need more zinc, if anything. That's it. They would describe me and be like, Taylor, his bones, he hasn't broken anything, but any day now, they're pretty weak. Number 2, giants. All these beasts are massive, sure, but are they giants per se? Like legally on paper, are they giants? Are they giants like our champion Gath, mentioned in Samuel 17:158? No. "And there came out from the camp of the Philistines a champion named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits in a span." I'm 6'2" in a span. He's 6 cubits in a span. The guy's huge. "He had a helmet of bronze on his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of bronze." Spoiler alert, Goliath fell to David, but there's a race of giants called the Amorites. They're mentioned more than 80 times. One description mentioned in Amos 2:9-10 paints quite the picture. "Yet it was I who destroyed the Amorite before them, whose height was like the height of the cedars, and he was as strong as the oaks. Yet I destroyed his fruit above his roots beneath. Also it was I who brought you up from the land of Egypt and led you 40 years through the wilderness to possess the land of Amorite." That's, again, another amazing description. If somebody were to describe me, they'd be like, "Ah yes, Taylor, the height of that bush, and also the strength of that bush." And finally, number 1, vampires. Remember when Edward says to Bella in the woods in Twilight, he says, "Say it out loud," and she's like, "Vampires." I get chills. Every time I get chills. Great book, great series, great film series too. Well, it turns out they're real. Who'd have thought? Vampires are mentioned in around 50 verses from the Bible. Of course, this is an ongoing argument because the verse, "These are those whose teeth are swords, whose fangs are knives, to devour the poor from the earth, the needy from among mankind." Now, many believe it's not actually vampires being referenced here, and rather just the wealth of the people that's being devoured. No actual blood sucking going on. But I don't know, sea monsters, locusts, multiple horned heads. Sounds like vampires would be the least of our concerns at this point. Just get everything done during the day. At least we have a solution for this one. Is he coming out of the sea? Is he giant? Does he have 11 heads? We could probably take him. Drinking blood of any creature is a sin, so Team Jacob all the way, for sure. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on Most Amazing Top 10. I've been your host, Taylor McWaters. Those are some terrifying biblical entities. Hit that thumbs up, comment down below if you want a part 2 because there's a lot. We'll talk next time. See ya.